Today, I will show you an action, mystery, sci-fi film from 2020 titled Boss Level. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. Roy Pulver is a retired Delta Force soldier stuck reliving the same day for the 139th time. Every time he dies, the day resets, and after so many loops, he knows the pattern of the day by heart. Every morning at 7 a.m., a man breaks into his apartment trying to kill him and the woman he slept with, followed by a helicopter gunman shredding his apartment until it explodes. Roy dodges everything perfectly, jumps out the window, and lands on a sand truck, something he failed 22 times before mastering. After surviving the apartment attack, Roy hijacks a car and flees from two assassins in a minivan whom he nicknames Pam and Esmeralda. They chase him through the city, shooting non-stop, and Roy only survives if he remembers every single move, including dodging a bus. Whenever he forgets, the day resets. Each loop changes slightly based on Roy's decisions. Besides Pam and the helicopter gunman, there are many other assassins hunting him, including Guan Yin with her sword, Kaboom with bombs, Smiley with his lance, the German twins, and a man who looks just like Roy, whom he calls Roy No. 2. No matter how many assassins Roy kills, more eventually find him and end the loop. Roy believes the answers lie with his ex-wife, Gemma Wells, but when he calls her office, her boss, Colonel Clive Venter, answers and tells him Gemma died in an accident. Roy doesn't believe this and suspects Venter killed her, yet he never survives long enough to learn the truth. On loops where he survives the bus and Pam, Roy reaches Jake's diner where he must quickly grab a bar seat before it's taken by Dai Feng, a legendary sword master. Roy gets drunk at the diner while listening to a conspiracy theorist named Dave ramble beside him. At exactly 12:47, the assassins always arrive and kill Roy in the diner. If Roy avoids the diner, he simply dies earlier elsewhere. He has never lived beyond this moment. As he dies again, Roy remembers the day before the loop started, when he visited Gemma at Dino Laboratories after she called him about a job opportunity. At Dino, Gemma seems uninterested in his resume and instead takes his measurements and pulls hair samples that draw blood. She shows Roy a strange machine capable of unraveling time and space and even destroying the world if misused. Roy brings up their son, Joe, who believes Roy is just a family friend. He begs Gemma to let him be part of Joe's life, admitting he lost her by choosing work over family. Their conversation is interrupted, and Gemma sends Roy away, telling him to remember the word Osiris and to open a birthday present she sent him. Venter becomes uneasy knowing Roy has seen the machine and orders Brett to hire random assassins to eliminate him without leaving a trace. That night, Roy picks up a woman named Alice at a bar, ignoring the bartender's warning that he is still hung up on Gemma. While Alice is in the bathroom, Gemma calls Roy, sounding distressed and asking for help, but Venter cuts the call. Roy chooses to return home with Alice instead of helping Gemma. While Alice sleeps with Roy, Gemma inserts Roy's blood and hair into the machine. Venter sees this on the cameras, declares her a threat, and sends Brett after her. This becomes the final normal day before the loop begins. Back in the loop, Roy realizes he never opened Gemma's birthday present. He opens it and finds a book titled Iset and Osiris with a note saying time waits for no man. Distracted by the book, Roy forgets key survival steps and dies repeatedly until he notices a button in the hijacked car that makes it faster. This causes him to miss the diner exit and end up in underground Atlanta, where he finally sits down to read the book. Though confused by its meaning, Roy notices his son Joe nearby, realizing Joe is the only family he has left. Roy follows Joe into an arcade and scolds him for skipping school, discovering Joe only bought trading cards. Roy invites him to lunch, and when they exit the building, Roy realizes it's 12:50, the longest he has ever survived. He figures out the assassins track him, and the metal and underground structure kept him hidden. The assassins arrive anyway, and Roy shields Joe, dying as he tells him he is his father. In the next loop, Roy searches his body for the tracker, even inspecting his teeth after Dave suggests it. He remembers Alice was a dental hygienist and realizes she implanted the tracker. After pulling out the tracker tooth, Roy is killed again by Roy number 2. In the following loop, Alice admits she was paid by Brett before leaving town. Roy removes the tracker successfully and uses it as bait, luring Pam into a trap and killing her. Free for the first time, Roy goes on a revenge spree, killing every assassin hunting him. Using Kaboom's phone, he threatens Brett and Venter before attempting to crash his car into Dinah, only to be shot and reset again. Roy spends many loops trying to infiltrate Dinah, learning guard patterns and camera timing. Even armed, he keeps dying to Guan Yin's superior sword skills. Venter repeatedly kills Roy after delivering speeches about resetting history. During one of these speeches, Roy learns the project's name, the Osiris Spindle, and realizes Gemma put him into the loop intentionally to stop Venter. Empowered by this revelation, Roy trains through countless loops with Dai Fang, learning sword combat until he can defeat her. After thanking her, he infiltrates Dinah again, this time killing Guan Yin with her own sword. Brett dies next, and Roy fights Venter, ultimately killing him while declaring no one should rewrite history. Roy rushes to the mall only to find Joe is already dead. As police restrain him, a blinding light signals the end of the world. Believing everything is lost, Roy spends many loops in total apathy, allowing assassins to kill him repeatedly without resistance. Eventually, the violence snaps Roy out of it. He begins using the loops to spend full days with Joe, playing games, eating together, and reliving simple moments over and over until the world ends each time. He still can't bring himself to tell Joe the truth. On loop 249, Roy learns Joe spoke to Gemma that morning, meaning she was alive longer than Roy believed. Realizing he may still save her, Roy forms a new plan. He interrogates Venter and Brett in the next loop and learns Gemma sabotaged the spindle, making Roy the missing mass that allows it to function. Gemma discovers Joe dies exactly 14 minutes after he wakes up. Restarting the day, Roy hijacks the helicopter, storms Dinah, and slaughters every assassin in his way. He reaches Gemma's lab just in time, killing Brett and Venter instantly and finally reuniting with her. Gemma explains the spindle can only be restarted, not stopped. She designed it so Roy could reset the day one final time and restore normal time, though it might kill him permanently. Trusting what he has learned, Roy kisses Gemma and steps into the Osiris Spindle, hoping this loop will be the last.